Go on. What's the problem?
You've been emailed by Leonie Jackman. Yeah. So we are PLT, so we work on this. We do the same job as Leonie basically, but actually on the street rather than prior to the event. Could be tasked to come over and speak to you.
Sorry?
You could tasked to come over and speak to you. Just to liaise.
No.
Just to liaise. Task. That's it. Just about you being here today. What your intentions are, how long you're going to stay for.
Well, to be honest with you, we're waiting for about 12 o'clock when you get a number of different people here. As I've said, it's already been sent to the Queen and signed for that we're going to be here every 2 weeks.
Yep.
We are completely lawful, we're constitutionalists, and it is our right to petition the Queen.
Yep.
So we've sent that, and your park keepers have been sent the information. And what we're doing now is making people aware that our constitutional rights have been abused, and it hasn't stopped being abused for a very long time. And the last time it happened was in the Glorious Revolution, and the time before that was the Magna Carta in 1215. And the only person who can resolve it now is Her Majesty, which we, not like some people don't like the Queen, but we actually do like the Queen. And what we're saying is that she is sovereign, and we are sovereign because we handed that to the Queen at Westminster Abbey. Right? If you actually watch, you'll see her turn to the people, and we had to accept her as our monarch. That's the difference. Now, what you've got now is a situation where Parliament are suggesting that they are sovereign. So you've got 650 MPs that are alleged to wear the crown, and they don't. The person who wears the crown is that lady there. And if you look inside the crown, it actually has got an imprint that I've got his name, but it'll come back to me. They recast the crown, and inside they actually made the imprint from the mint that said that crown is the Commonwealth, that belongs to the Commonwealth, which is us, not that Parliament. That's all it is.
On the flip side to that, I know you got sent some of the park regs that cover the area that we're currently stood on. But standing here as you are now, you're not really doing, you're not breaching any of them park regs. It's only if you then started giving out leaflets or that side of thing, or were start displaying banners or anything like that, that then would come, for our side, become an issue. But as you were, it's not an issue.
Well, the answer is, with respect, we are fully entitled in law, and it is illegal for anybody to stop us from petitioning the Queen. People are asking us, because this is a constitutional awareness day, of why we're here and what we're doing. We intend to tell people.
Yeah, if people have approached you, then absolutely.
Most people do, but I mean, but what we do is, in a minute, or not in a minute, 12 o'clock-ish, but once we've done that, then we move on. But our petition to the Queen is going on social media, because mainstream media are completely ignoring us. Right? No disrespect to you, but under our constitution, you are what's known as a standing army. Right? You are acting against us because you're armed and we're not. And I can go right back through police history and tell you when the police took 6,000 swords out of the Tower of London, the whole of England rose up, come down to England and said, put them back. And they put them back. The difference is we've now got a tyrannous Parliament that's controlling you against us, and that's what we're saying. We're not accepting that.
To a degree, I understand what you're saying, but on the flip side of that, you actually have Royal Park, which is actually owned by the Queen, so the laws within the Royal Parks are being agreed by the Queen. But actually it's her land, so therefore any laws that are within the Royal Parks are by the Queen.
See that road up there?
That's how you see it, yeah?
See the road up there to the right of the palace?
Constitution Hill.
That's Constitution Hill.
Yeah.
Constitution.
Why is it called that?
I don't know, I'm not really much used to that.
It's called that because we have a constitution.
Yep.
And part of that constitution is the Declaration of Rights and the Bill of Rights. The Declaration of Rights is a private contract in law between Her Majesty and us. Full stop. If we don't get a response, I've already stated to Her Majesty, and it's been signed for, because the declaration is a private contract between the people and the monarch, we will go to your private residences. Full stop. That means Sandringham Park, Windsor Castle, and but we have the right to do that, that's what I'm saying. I'm not, park regulations do not override my constitutional right under the Bill of Rights. Full stop. It can't do.
The intention for you guys is to continue doing that until you get a response, is that what you mean?
Yeah.
You want a response directly?
I'm not expecting Her Majesty. Oh, look, she's pushing. I'm not expecting her to come out and say
Even
this.
home.
No, no, she's not. I'm not expecting her to come out and say, do you want a cup of tea? But what we're saying, look, just to give you an example, as a group, a constitutional group, right? We've already got 2 judicial reviews. Pots and pans officials. And that is what we're saying is we act lawfully, not unlawfully.
I'm not saying, and I don't want to send you back to Norway. That's why I said, as you were when I first got here, you weren't doing anything that would be deemed unlawful within the Royal Park regulations. What I was saying is, if you started handing out leaflets, that itself. But if you're stood there, someone starts talking to you, you're not committing an offence. Someone's come up to have a conversation with you, and then you can discuss whatever it is to your heart.
I need to say this to you. First of all, I was assaulted last time I was here by one of your officers, right? I still haven't had a response back. He drew blood.
I won't do it with all the cameras on.
He drew blood, right? And that is assault against a person, and it is ABH, right? My finger went numb. It caused a hernia because he pulled me over the bike. He cut my finger, right? If that boot was on the other foot, I would have been dragged off and severely, dealt with. Nothing. So I haven't even had a response from the Metropolitan Police. Right? Don't forget, the scene of Dick has been notified. The chief constables all over this country have been notified. And it isn't just this protest that's happening. You've got Rolling Thunder, where people are coming out in their cars and it's going to stop the traffic. This is only the start of what's happening. We're trying to keep it peaceful. We voted to leave the European Union. They decided to ignore it. We've gone to the High Court. We're doing everything lawfully. We haven't done anything wrong. If they eventually want to take it to the next level, that's down to them. Then we'll walk back and say, well, we've tried every possible way we can to construct this peacefully. Exactly the same as they did. And if you read the history of the Glorious Revolution, you'll see what's happening now. It's exactly what happened then. No different whatsoever. I mean, word for word, you can actually read the transcript with the Prince of Orange. That's all I'm saying, but park regulations.
I get that, and not everyone sees them as lawful as they are. For some people, I've worked in the park day in, day out, and some people laugh at me when I say you're breaching park regulation. But for us, they are just as lawful as pace law. So, but for a specific area, they are just as lawful as pace law.
Right. And if your intentions are to stay lawful, then you see us as a facilitator.
Stay lawful, it means
if
my
you want to stay on the right side, if you don't want to breach things so that you're on the right side, so you can stand up eventually and say we've done everything right, then just see us as facilitating that.
I agree entirely. I agree entirely. But what I'm saying is, I was assaulted last time I was here for no reason whatsoever. There was no reason for it to happen, right? What I'm saying to people is this, quite simply, yeah? I regard you as a standing army. You are not with the people, you are against the people. It's not your fault because you are not educated, yeah? And you should be. The primary thing is that you should be educated, and you're not.
Educated on what?
On the Constitution. They removed it from the curriculum in the 1970s. They removed it from the barristers' bar exams in the 1970s. That is what happened. If you went to America, do you think they do that in America? So we're not, your Constitution doesn't exist. Of course that Constitution, just because they say we haven't got a Constitution, which we have, we've got a written Constitution, don't mean it don't exist and your claim of right don't exist. That claim of right does exist. And what we're doing is asserting that right. That's it. But what I'm saying to you is quite simply, if you say that I'm doing anything against your park regulations, for me, my constitutional rights are above that, and the Queen herself has stated that. She said it in Hansard in 1988, and I printed it and sent it to your bosses. So if the Queen said that, if the guys read the actual words from the Queen, that is their right, end of. So when we start to talk to people, and we're on camera, if you choose to arrest me, then you arrest me, it'll go to court. But what we're saying is we will then use our rights, and you've got a writ of habeas corpus.
Yeah, and then it'll be us.
The Queen has basically said it's your right to stand here and do what you're doing, but she's also agreed to the laws and the park regulations. It's both. So all we're doing is facilitating that you meet that halfway.
You're not understanding what I'm saying.
I am understanding what you're saying. You don't recognise the laws. I get that.
No.
We still abide by them. And we have to follow them.
When you say they're regulations, are they laws?
I recognise laws.
It's called park regulations.
But I don't recognise.
But are they laws?
A law.
Park and Open Space Regulations 1997 is the law, but they're just classed as regulations.
It's just a regulation. It's not a law. Well, sure as it'd be called a law, surely, not a regulation.
I mean, to give them a copy of the Bill of Rights of the age. Maybe you want to take that away. I'm not giving it to the public here. I'm giving it to yourself. Maybe it might help you to understand where we're coming from. Okay?
Absolutely, and that's what we want to do. We want to not against you guys society.
I've been asked to speak to you about this speech. Give you a
There's another leaflet in there, Dan.
I don't really think you want it to be aired on your Facebook.
We have a right to.
Well, your contact details or my contact details. He doesn't want them being aired on.
There was an inspector that contacted me last night. He knows about it. I also sent off an email to the person I was told to send the email off to. I sent all that information off. I'm being honest with you. I stand as a constitutionalist.
No, but I'm not talking about this at the moment. I'm talking
Yeah,
about
you're talking about last week.
Yeah, but but about the assault part of it. That's what I want to talk to you about, and I don't want to do it with these people filming. Because I don't want to either give my inspector's telephone number on who's being recorded, or give your telephone number so it can be recorded on Facebook. Yeah? So can we just quickly have that conversation?
There's that one and all that you've done, Graham.
Have you got a telephone number for him then?
I will have one, yeah.
Where's the rest? If you know more about it.
I wouldn't have a clue. Grill my sausage on there.
Huh?
I could grill my sausage on there. I didn't hear that over there. I didn't hear that.
Sorry?
Have you had much interest from people?
Yeah, no, loads. No, loads. I mean, when we start speaking, because it's educational, it is a constitutional awareness thing,
And
right?
it's interesting.
Loads of Americans come up to us. I mean, last time I was here, they was pummeling me and saying, you stand up for your rights, your constitutional rights. One of the things, that's what people want to know. They want to know that you getting into politics. We stand above politics. I'm not left or right. I don't care about that place. It's gone, it's lost. And what we stand for are people saying we need to retrench back to a safe point. And that safe point is our constitution. Because no one can deny us their rights. And that's where you have to start again. Say like, scrap it. I mean, there's other people that we're talking to in political parties that completely want to get rid of Parliament. I mean, I'm not talking about guardrails, but get rid of it. We don't need them. You know, we can govern ourselves, and we can. That's what they don't like, and they know it as well. They know we don't need them because we're the people who built this. We're the people who built that palace. We're the people who built the marble floor. these people that turn up here are the people who actually did that, and yet we're all being abused. Now, when you've got 30,000 elderly working class people every year coming into winter die of the cold, this is it in this country. It's disgusting. And all we say to people is, you've got to find out where the problem is, and the problem's in that place. Someone contacted me last night, and we do a radio show, and they contacted me last night, and they've just come back from Portugal. He said, was you aware that the Portuguese Prime Minister is now under investigation, listen to the figure, 12 billion euro fraud. 12 billion. It's not Mickey Mouse money. And most of that money is nicked off of us. I mean, if you look at the stuff we just put into the High Court, there was an inquiry in the House of Lords. We're losing roughly 10 billion a year to one type of VAT fee. And one of them, one of the people, was a Serbian police officer. In 8 months, he had a £1.2 billion turnover. He nicked 365 million as a Serbian police officer, and the judge said, what, nobody noticed? Nobody noticed that a man had a blue chip company in 8 months. You know what I mean? And you're thinking, I mean, he got 11 years, but he's just one of the people who got caught. But 365 million. And when you've got people dying in this country, they're cold.
You begin to ask yourself what that's going on.
What number for you? Do you want to give me a number for you to me to get him to call you? He's not back until Monday.
Yeah, that is the reason why I sent an email to him.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I got asked today to speak to you.
0207 161
Yep.
9682.
With my dodgy hand on it. No, no, was it straight? What about, you want to do it down here, then you just keep that bit of paper in your hand.
Yeah, go on then.
You really give me some.
I've got my number, mate.
They made out they didn't have it.
201. Yeah, they have. Like I say, it's not as if we don't advertise, and we actually send stuff off.
I saw the email that you sent last night with the bit that you copied from the.
Yeah, I mean, you know, don't forget, if you looked at the lawful rebellion side, you know, that is the bit that interests people, because the Magna Carta. Yeah, I want to give you a prime example of saying this is the state against the people, right? The Magna Carta Society, highly intelligent constitutionalists, right? They are all really lovely people. 3 of them are ex-serving police officers. One of them was a Metropolitan Police firearms officer. Right? It just happens to be my mate. Right? He's got no issues with me having firearms. He says you should have the right to be armed. Right? But that's the point being, their website in 1999 they got 750,000 people to send Her Majesty a postcard that said, do not sign the Lisbon Treaty, it is treason. 750,000 people sent her a postcard. In 2001, what happened then? I'll show you the paperwork. 2001, they went to see... In 2001, they went to the House of Lords and they asked 600 lords or whatever it was. We need a quorum. 65 of them come forward. This is under the Magna Carta 1215 Article 61, right? Which is our right to go into lawful rebellion. And what happened? 65 of them come up. 25 of them said we'll be in the quorum. These are lords. This is like Liam Price, who's QC, that said it all out. 4 of them took a petition to the Queen and handed it in. Right? She had 40 days to respond. On the 39th day she responded, but she didn't give us redress. That means automatically we're in lawful rebellion, and anyone who acts against us, in other words, we act now for the lords and for the barons, because the barons are the Queen's peers. And because of that, and again we've got all the evidence of it, it was highly publicised on Telegraph. Yeah, it's not a Mickey Mouse thing, it's actually real. And just to give you an example, the Magna Carta Society's website, yeah, which shows all the information on how you go into lawful rebellion, was shut down by the Ministry of Justice. They said it's an extremist website. Right? You've got the most loveliest people that are involved with that went to a QC, that got everything sorted out, put a petition into the Queen, and our government shut down the website and said they're extremists.
Because they think it's going to overpower the government.
Well, the point is, no,
so they are. Just asking, I'm asking a question. Is that why they did it?
Yeah. Basically, they think they can do what they like. But that's part of the problem. Is Parliament is lost. They believe they are sovereign, and they're not. And the question has never been put to an independent judiciary. If you actually go through the Constitution, you realise that when the Glorious Revolution happened, yeah, the people give the power back to the Crown on condition that she didn't, or she didn't, and Parliament didn't oppress us. But now what we've got is oppression, and they keep overwriting. For example, park regulations. Right? They might mean something to you. What I'm saying to people, and I always state this, yeah? Not every law in Parliament is an invalid or void law. Some of them are alright. Some of them. But anything that contradicts our constitutional rights is not valid. That's the way it works. The difference is, police officers need to understand, and when I say you haven't been educated, you haven't been educated. Because they removed it.
The thing at school, you can drop it at the age of 13. Yeah. You can choose never to do history again.
They used to have something. Some of the older generations remember it. They used to have something called civics, and civics was all about our constitution and how we come about. They removed that, but they removed it for a reason. It's a bit like if you're a member of.
They thought they educated us too highly, then too many people would come back and say.
Yeah, exactly. Because then the people will say, "Hang on a minute, what are you doing?" So it's a bit like you being in a union, yeah, and you having union rights. But they don't tell you. Well, if they don't tell you what your rights are, how do you know what your rights are? So the police could turn around and say, "Sorry, you've got to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We're going to halve your salary. There's nothing you can do about it." And you're like,
Look at the union and they back you up.
Yeah. So you need to turn to someone who knows your rights. That's what we are. We're almost like a union for the people, but under the Constitution, to say these are what your rights are. Don't let anyone take them off you.
The subjects have the right to petition the King on all commitments and prosecutions. Forms of petitioning are illegal.
By the way, this young lady's memorised the complete Bill of Rights.
I know quite a few things. I know full well that provided no charter or grant of pardon granted before the 3 and 20th day of October in the year of our law 1689 shall be in any ways impeached or invalidated by this act, or the same shall be and remain the same force and effect in law. And no other than this act is never promulgated.
Normal speed, I can't hear a word you're saying. Too fast.
Slow it down.
What they're saying is you're going too fast. No, I agree. But it is like that's what I'm saying. But people are passionate about their constitution, and
we understand that, and the role that we play, which our role is mainly when we go to protests, and we know that. But the role that we do, we work at all types of protests for many different things, and we know that most people that go to protests are passionate for the whole reason why they're there. Yeah. And we don't come here wanting to stifle your passion. We just come here hoping that at some point we can agree that it falls in, on this occasion, falls in your eyes lawful, but at the same time in our eyes lawful. Yeah. And we want to meet somewhere in the middle. And as I said at the beginning, what you would do when we first turn up, not an issue. If you were waving banners and stuff like that, it might be a slightly different conversation. And if you did that, and you did it for a stunt for 30 seconds, then I'd be like, okay, fair enough. But if you did it for 2 hours, then it'd be another story. But you could seem like the kind of guy that understands that.
I do understand that entirely, but one of the things that you've got to understand is Buckingham Palace is an absolute focal point for all of these people, and when we start talking, they are just as interested in the little groups that they go around and have chats in. You get these people who explain, we're no different to them. Yeah. So what you can imagine is last time there was hundreds of people on the back all listening to us, and when we stopped, they all started applauding. So. Yeah,
there comes the horses again.
Agree. But we wouldn't. Oh, there's the Juju's. Yeah, we're not. Once we've done that, and they've done our bit of videoing, we're not going to be here all day. We're not.
The rain at one as well. You for that.
But they're where?
The rain at one.
Yeah. And you've also got.
There goes the police bike. That's not a reason to arrest me, it wasn't me.
See, same old faces. Hello, ladies. Look, sorry, here's my whistle.
Oh, I'd love one, thank you. Oh, it's lovely of her.
Coffee?
No, we won't, once we go past midday, we'll do a little video.
Maybe you should take the mick out of the flag with the big size. No, I've been told because of the wind.
They put a bigger one out, it would get ruined.
A big one out, it would get ruined. So put a small one out. Alright.
Thanks a lot.
We'll be around.
There you go, guys.